Hi, I'm Kelly McKenty. Welcome to Cover to Cover. On this episode, I'm joined by Dylan Ireland and Skye Wallace. Peterborough's Dylan Ireland has been a fixture in the local music scene. As a solo performer, part of the Ireland Brothers, Expressing Company, or his newest project Doses, Dylan is a powerful singer-songwriter and frontman. Dylan will be performing a cover of Tough Kid by Skye Wallace. Skye and her high-voltage backing band have achieved cult following status under the dim light of bars and clubs all over the world. Her newest album, recorded in Peterborough with Hawksley Workman, will be released this fall 2024, with the first single, Tough Kid, being released to much acclaim this spring. Skye will be performing a cover of Doses' song, Death Wish Suburbia.
Have you ever felt so damaged, like they're gonna come after you? You gotta cut them up into pieces. They're gonna do what they wanna do.
So welcome, Dylan Ireland and Skye Wallace, to Cover to Cover.
Thank you.
We are very thrilled to have you both here today to talk about your music, and I have so many questions. Where did it all begin?
Yeah, I mean, I always sang. Like it was like I was this weird kid who just like wouldn't stop singing, like for no reason. Like it was like I just picked it up and then like started getting into like, I lived with my grandparents when I was really little and like getting into like, my grandpa was really into like country stuff and like Willie Nelson and Randy Travis. So I got into that. I got into like my dad's music, like Neil Young and Rush.
Yes.
And like I think just like, from like all corners, I just started falling in love with music. And I think I started like writing pop songs a la like Spice Girls vibes, or what I thought was Spice Girls vibes when I was little, like 10 or 11. But then like, yeah, once I hit like 15, started learning the guitar and like kind of coming into what it meant to find like my voice. And
Sure, yeah.
it's been a long journey, but a good one and I don't know,
Awesome.
a soul-filling one.
Well, similarly, I loved that Spice Girls album. I was 11 at the same time.
Yeah.
I didn't really tell my friends that, but um, I lived in a really small trailer, and my dad was a musician and had a band that rehearsed in the basement. There was a trailer with a basement underneath, which is strange. So I was kind of just around it all the time, and but myself, it was a lot of country music, like
Yeah.
you said, Randy Travis, Willie Nelson, Van Morrison.
Yes.
But I got really into like Matchbox 20 and just like the current pop or rock stuff.
Yes, I did too. Matchbox 20, Goo
Yeah.
Goo Dolls.
All that stuff.
all
I was
that
a heartless
stuff.
or heartless romantic. No, hopeless romantic. You hope I'm not the other one. But
Good
yeah,
song, yeah.
I remember I would turn my dad's PA on and crank like the Tragically Hip, and I would put the microphone on, but I'd put my volume really low. But I would be Gord Downey
Of course.
for a little bit.
Absolutely.
That's kind of how it started for
That's
me.
amazing. So I know, obviously, as artists, your music, your genre, everything is kind of ever changing and revolving. Skye, maybe you could tell us sort of how your music has changed. Whether that
Yeah.
be the writing process or whatever, how it's changed or evolved for
Right.
you.
Yeah, I think it's something that I fought against for a long time, or looked back on with self-judgment, I guess, of being like, why can't you just focus or something like that? But I do think that there's like an artist's path where it's like you are ever evolving and you are ever changing and in flux and fluid. And I think like I've kind of embraced that because I started out in a very folk kind of songwriting way, and that's just how that was my context point for starting to like tell a story. And like I knew four chords and I could kind of like go from there, and like started getting better at instrument and songwriting and things like that. But I always wanted to push how whether things were pretty or not. Like I started adding like distortion on my acoustic guitar, and then I eventually replaced the strings that I had playing with me with like bass and drums and
Right.
another guitar and things like that. So it's become a very like alt rock thing, I guess, in the last many years, and like a more energetic live show. And even like I'm working on new stuff now, and that's even a bit of a departure from the last. And I think like yeah, even if it's not quite what people expect, the people who are there for the ride, I think, will always appreciate a fresh take and also if it fills your cup as an artist, I think that comes through more than anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've talked about this before too. That exactly when you create something for yourself as opposed to, you know, creating it for someone else. Dylan, I know you had a big transition, you know, moving into Doses, which
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of.
Well, thanks.
It's really amazing to see, you know, someone like Dylan, who kind of, like you guys are both saying, you know, started out country and sort of the grassroots,
For sure.
and then going pop. And how has that been for you, that transition? What kind of how did it start?
Well, the transition started with kind of getting out of the circle of playing clubs and bars that weren't getting yourself anywhere, and kind of having a kind of being distracted. I was an addict, obviously 3 years sober now from that.
Amazing.
And Doses is started to develop kind of during the pandemic, and it's what I've always wanted to do is just sing and produce a sound that is just me, rather than what was kind of given to me, which I love to and still do. But
Sure, yeah.
it's been pretty great to be able to kind of flow into something more natural.
Nice. You both have new singles out. Skye, your new single "Tough Kid" is it's an amazing song, and
Thank you.
you're welcome. And it has such an empowering message behind it. I was hoping maybe you could just tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on a record for the last year or so, and this was one of the first songs from that. And I think, you know, the whole record itself is a concept record that I can't like leak yet, but like I think the most important part was getting to that point. And the first few songs that came out of it were definitely about my own personal transformation at the time. So Tough Kid, and there's a couple of other ones that are all about like rebirth and like kind of cracking open the confines of what people are going to think. It was the first song where I came back to, oh, well, it doesn't, like, whether people will like it or not, it doesn't matter, because I like it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, it was everything that I wanted to do. It was also a chance for me to, it was my co-production debut, which was
Yes,
cool because I
yes.
hadn't like actively produced yet, and I did it with Hawksley Workman in Peterborough, which was super cool.
We love Hawksley.
We love
Yeah.
him, yeah. And yeah, it was just a very like cathartic process. It was very empowering, stepping into your power and like acknowledging like everything that you've done up until this point that equips you to, I don't know, to walk forward with a sense of confidence and a sense of you know, life's just all a bunch of like pivots and adaptations that you kind of like let it, you know,
Let it do its thing.
let it do its thing.
Yeah. Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Dylan, so, and you have obviously you have a new single out with Doses.
Yep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we just released Death Wish Suburbia.
Such a cool title.
We're making lots of singles right now.
Yeah.
We have another one coming out in a couple months.
Awesome.
Death Wish Suburbia is like, it was kind of my take on, kind of in a way, the cliche idea of like a suburban sort of prison for someone, whether it is your job or what place you're in your life. I just want something multiple people could visualize. Like, I grew up in a trailer, so singing about a trailer isn't what I really wanted to get across, but
Right.
it's really just about that feeling that I have. It's very personal in a way, because I write a lot about the sobriety and changing and getting out, but I wasn't writing about the animal that's still inside of you, because it exists forever.
Right.
So me and Colin Kennedy, my partner, in Doses, wrote this, and it's kind of just that empowering, scream the chorus and help yourself get out of whatever you need to get out of.
Amazing. And actually kind of similar concepts, you know, like
Yeah, totally.
getting out, moving on.
I wanted to
getting
say
over...
that your answer was better than mine, so if you could just...
Oh my God, you know, way.
It matched great. It was like, this
was
is good.
good.
This is
This
good.
is perfect.
Good, like, yeah, thematically, they're united in a
Yeah, it's
cool
good
way.
thing.
Yeah.
It's good thing.
Both stories, yeah.
Yeah. So are the songs a secret? Do you know which song you've chosen of
I
each
don't
others?
know.
And you don't know either? Okay. This is
I thought
really,
maybe I gave it away earlier.
this is really good. Who would like to go first?
Do you want
I
to
just
rock,
won't-
paper, scissors?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm going
So-
second.
okay,
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'll go first.
Can't keep giving up. Feel like I'm ready to be malleable. Hang tough, kid. Things will get better when they ask for it. Can't keep closing it. Done with hungering for my own skin. Hang tough, kid. They'll ask her in when you go for it. Straight knees, you're tumbling down, so fix it. Beg, please, your shoulders are better than this. Unfreeze, you're stumbling before you make it. Don't let the killer in. Hey kid, where have you been? You don't have to give in. You could be bigger than Jupiter if you believe it. I can't keep giving up. I keep coming up with hang tough, kid. Power looks different when ignited. I can't give away bits and pieces of what I want to say. You're a tough kid. Everything is yours if you desire it. Scrape knees, stumbling down, so fix it. Beg, please, your shoulders is better than this. Unfreeze, you're stumbling before you make it. Don't let the killer in. Hey kid, where have you been? You know you don't have to give in. You can be bigger than Jupiter if you believe it. If you believe it. You can be bigger than Jupiter. Kid. Hey kid.
Oh. Oh my God.
I think I can sit with that. I'm not gonna lie. I got nervous halfway through.
Oh no, that was
I hope that was all right.
wonderful.
That was
Are you kidding me?
amazing.
Oh,
That's a tough one.
thank you for
Oh, thank you
that.
for an amazing
It's the first
song.
time I've ever heard it covered before, and
was
you
tough.
slayed it. It's
Luckily, I'm a tough
amazing.
kid.
Yeah. No, it's so cool. Great tones.
An honor
also.
to play it.
That was
was awesome.
amazing. What is that like?
I mean, it's wildly cool. I think especially with newer songs because it's like, you haven't heard anything like that. You haven't even heard it in like the monitors on stage that many times.
No,
so
yeah.
it's like it is still kind of fresh and also to hear it in this place of like, it's still kind of like evolving as a piece and then having someone else's like completely like their own take on like even just like the syntax and things like that is so cool and like gives
It
you
was
I don't
fun
know.
to dig into because I did
Yeah.
watch a live version I found on YouTube.
Oh,
and
sweet.
then the Spotify track, and it's super fun. I'm gonna keep playing it.
Cool.
So it gets better and better. Well, as soon as I heard the lyrics, I immediately connected with it. It's one of those songs that you wish you wrote when you hear it, and you're like, oh wow, this is really good. I felt like the kid in it. wanting to tell other kids because now I'm kind of older. So
Not
that's
bad
really
at all.
good. It's important lyrics and very, very good song.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Skye, will you tell us what song of Dylan's you chose and why you chose it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am doing Death Wish Suburbia.
No way. Oh, that's awesome.
And it works because, like, A, we both talked about it, but B, they just happened to align in such a way. And
Yeah.
when I picked it, I had that feeling of what you were describing. I wasn't sure if I was correct or not, because, like, you know, songs can mean so many
Yeah.
different things to every person. But yeah, it just like really struck me as that, I don't know, that moment before you break out, that like that coming face to face with yourself and your narrative and your story and what you actually want, like getting down to priorities and like making moves based on that, so that you can, like, you know, step into that true power. I feel like it's like one leading into the next as far as emotion goes. So like it's, yeah, it felt very compelling to me. And like this, like the production on the song is amazing.
Awesome.
Similarly, like a song that you wish you wrote kind of thing, like the lyrics are so,
thanks.
that was actually something that I was thinking before you even mentioned the songwriting for rock and pop. Like I was like, these lyrics are so deliberate and get straight to the point. I know exactly what they're saying. Like there's no like, I sometimes do that where I hide behind like poetry where it's like, oh, let's not think about it too much. You don't have to actually know what I'm saying in case it's wrong or something.
Yeah.
But like these are just so like raw and feel very intentional with like the story that you're telling. And I
Same
just
with
loved
yours.
it.
Same with yours. It's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
It's a good thing.
Very
it's
good
similar,
thing.
similar vibes.
Yeah, I like it.
Have you ever felt so damaged, like they're gonna come after you? Gotta cut 'em up into pieces. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Have you ever woke up from dreaming and you're living in a trap house? Just pass me all of my IDs. Gotta get out now. I've got this wound in my head. It's making me bleed out the rest. Over and over at my door. Oh, I'm howling at my coffin. Yeah, I'm standing over it screaming. Yeah, I'm drowning. I can't swim under all this control. Oh, you're gonna go an animal. Am I ever gonna shake the feeling like you're never gonna help me out? Somebody give me a prescription. I don't ever wanna come down. Do you know what it's like to lose it? Do you want me to show you how? I got the psych ward in my memory. I gotta get it out now. I've got this room in my head. You're helping me clean out the rest. Over and over at my door. Yeah, I'm howling at my coffin. Yeah, I'm standing control. Oh, you're gonna grow an animal.
That's so dope.
That was amazing.
That's so good. I love it.
Wow.
Guys.
Dylan, what's that like?
Amazing. It's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna
I
maybe
love
steal the way you played it for myself.
Please.
It's so great.
Oh, I love that song. So good.
Yeah, for me, that's like I've never heard anybody cover one of my songs, so it's it doesn't even sound like one of my. Sounds like somebody else's song. So that was awesome.
That's cool.
Really awesome.
That's no, it was I know it's very different from like the production of it, but I was like really I don't know, interested to like see like what like where it would lead in a stripped down kind of way, and it did kind of like it made me go back to like where my roots were, I guess, of like that like Neil Young like like Marshall Stack heavy like but like solo thing, and I loved playing around with that and like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found a really great spot for that kind of crazy horse vibe in the verses and stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh, it's
Couldn't be
the
happier.
song speaks for itself, you know.
Thank
so yeah, very
Thank you.
good work.
It's got quite the title, but we're proud of it.
I love it.
I love it too. You guys, such a pleasure to have you both here today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
honestly.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is
It's been amazing.
a pleasure and an honor.
Some of my favorite people in the room.
Nice.
And new favorite people. Yeah.
Perfect.
Better yet,